you know, a lot of us are used to raising ourselves
Yeah.
as a man, and so sometimes a fear could be like, am I good enough to even handle a family?
Wow.
So that's something that a lot of guys don't want to talk about. For women who's listening and watching, it's not that we scared of you. It's just sometimes it's like, am I gonna fail my family as the man? Because sometimes, but the woman may say, we're good, we're gonna do this together, but there's a certain connection that only a man and God has to have.
Thank you guys so much for joining us with this amazing podcast. I'm here with some amazing brothers here at the church, and we are just here sharing our hearts. We just want to provide some content with some wonderful people out there who's listening. We are in the room with some amazing women of God, and we just thank you all for joining us tonight as well. Yeah, give yourselves a hand being our audience. And so today we're just going to lighten, just share some things from the heart of men. And we already been discussing, and we were just sharing about why some men doesn't come to church, and what you guys share was some valid things. And so I do want to ask you guys this question, because sometimes, you know, our churches are filled predominantly with women, and mostly across the United States. Do you guys feel like that it is a challenge for us as like why? Well, I'll put it this way. Let me ask this question, because I know this is something I think we can segue to. You know, Christ has us as the head of our homes. We're all, some of us up here are married, some of us will be married. That's a big responsibility. What is some of the fears? Let's be real, talk about some of the fears of that responsibility. So the women can understand what the role, what's on the man's back. What does it feels like to be in your shoes trying to serve God, be the head, please God? What is going on in the hearts of men? Why, you know, so we can let our sisters feel what we feel. Who would like to share from your heart? What's the thing? Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I jump at this because, you know, I've only been married a year, and
hey, congratulations.
And in that, like, all I can do really is laugh.
Wife is right
like,
there.
Hey, babe.
Support her.
I can just laugh because I'm like, you know what? To be the head, but not know what a head is supposed to do. That's a huge fear. What am I doing here? And then, you know, trying to navigate who I'm supposed to be in like just my everyday life, who I'm supposed to be in the marriage, who I'm supposed to be in the home, who am I supposed to be as a disciple, trying to navigate all these different things. It can be really tough. It can be extremely tough. And then, you know, when you have a great partner, I'm bragging on mine because I have a great partner who, yes, she's always cold, but you know, like, she's strong, and our backgrounds play a lot into what we experience in our marriage. So how we were raised. When you have people coming out of broken families, we learn how to do things,
yes, sir,
out of order.
Yes, sir.
So where I may divert my, you know, time, attention. So, I have a lot of aunties that are strong. My mom, single parent, all this other stuff. I'll divert to a woman for that. But then she's looking at me like, well, why are you diverting me? You're the head. What are you going to do? And it's like, I don't know. And, you know, I don't know what to do in some situations. I don't know how to go about these things because I can't sit here and say, oh, when I was 10, this is what I did with my dad when he came home from work and had.
That's real talk.
I mean,
awesome.
My dad was out of the house before I was 4 months.
Got you.
So, like, yes, I knew my father, but I never knew him in the capacity of being in the home.
Understand.
So that piece for leadership, examples, and then even going to church my whole life, I never really saw the men from church in their home situations. I saw them in church situations. Oh, we're setting up, we're breaking down, we're turning on lights and all that stuff. But how do you handle life at home? How do you handle bills? How do you handle all of these different things? How do you handle responsibilities at home? Who takes care of what? How do you do these things? I don't know. I don't know.
Good.
So it's hard when you're trying to do what is ordained of you to do as a man in your home and you have no idea on how to do it.
That is awesome. That's awesome, man. That's good. You guys want to?
I think that's why it's called help. Hey, the women is your help. You know, if you got a strong foundation and y'all got a good connection, everything gonna come to good. You know, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work.
And that's
you know,
that's amazing.
You gotta have that connection. You got to.
Yeah.
You know,
that's amazing, and it's true what you said. I one thing I've learned about men is that we learn by what we learn by modeling. Like, we need to see it modeled. This is why I believe Christ brought those disciples close, so they could see him in every type of situation. So when he moved the scene, they had a visual of how to do this stuff. If he would have just gave them scriptures, they would have had information, but not a model, visual model. And one thing about men, we model each other. That's why we always go back to sports a lot. You see these guys, these young guys, they're out right now. We're in the NBA Finals, and you got guys putting up basketball hoops on their street, and everybody's trying to be Kyrie Irving, and because they're modeling what they're seeing. And so that's how men learn. We look at other men and we like, oh, you know, we watch how he dresses, we watch how he handles his wife. And that's why I said to myself, I had to really ask God to give me some godly models in my life, because I did not know, like what Jeremy was saying. I sometimes as men, you know, we're going to be husbands, but we never saw what a husband looked like. So then we walk into these homes and then it's like, go ahead and drive the car. We like, nobody never showed me. I don't even know, you know. And so it's a humbling process, and we're just sharing this for the women so the women can understand what it looks like to be put in a position, and you learn as you go, but as you're going, somebody is trusting you. You see what I'm saying? It's like I'm learning, but this person is behind me, walking behind me or walking with me as I am learning to be. And sometimes it's like you're praying because you're like, Lord, I know I need you, Lord. This person is trusting my driving skills in our series. And at the same time, but you're like, but Lord, I never saw a person in the human drive. So now it's a faith walk, but then the person next to you, they would expect us to already know how to drive so well when we never really had seen it. So I agree.
And that's why I say, like, the role models is really important. It's really, really important, because you know, a lot of us are used to raising ourselves as a man. And so sometimes a fear could be like, am I good enough to even handle a family?
Wow.
So that's something that a lot of guys don't want to talk about. For women who's listening or watching, it's not that we scared of you. It's just sometimes it's like, am I going to fail my family as the man? Because sometimes, but the woman may say, we're good. We're going to do this together. But there's a certain connection that only a man and God has to have
100%.
For him to go and tell his wife. That's order.
That's true.
A lot of us are out of order.
Wow.
We thinking, let's all do it. God is like, I need you. You the head. I'm talking to you. So,
did I learn that?
Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes, and so what I'm saying is that, like, I agree. I think role models is so important, because we didn't, same thing with me. I didn't have no man in the house. My dad wasn't, so I didn't have nothing where I could be like, this is how it go. And it's no disrespect to any woman or anything, but a mother can only teach you so much.
True.
That man's got to be there.
True.
He has to, and that creates that type of, where you hear a lot of women say, like, I'm independent and all this stuff, but that comes from because she's going past the capacity she can even go, trying to be the man, and that's why I'm the mother and the father. You hear these a lot, right?
It's literally impossible.
It's impossible, but they had no choice because our dads were. Right. So now it turns into like, she only gets to this mark, your mother, and then it's like, I hope that whatever I taught them is enough. But then you get out here as young men, the streets get you. Your homeboys get you. So now all this type of stuff coming, you like, man, I know this is wrong, but maybe this is how you be a man, because he getting women, or he got a house, or he got this. So now you're being led by objects that make you feel like this is how it has to be. If you think about music and hip hop, every time we turned on the TV, it was dudes who had money, cars, but you said, this is how you get a wife, or this is how you do this. So now you sitting there like, well, I'm gonna follow that because
They
that's
didn't
how
want a
he's
wife,
being.
They want a shorty. They want a side piece.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna correct you on that. I'm gonna tell you
Okay,
why.
Yes.
Every man wants a wife, but every man was not guided properly. This is the reason why I'm telling you. It's because this is what the world do. Society taught that. Oh, yeah, these men, it just ain't no good. They're lost. Just like women are lost, men can be lost. But men don't know where to turn to. It's like, I think this is how you love a woman. They go off of BET. That's
Right.
their teacher.
Right.
We
Yeah.
don't have nobody to be like, this how you treat your wife. You don't do this. So now we get older, and deep inside, we want to get married. But I don't know. And then now when we're doing it the right way with God, this is why I said we get afraid that we can't lead them right, because we've been filled with the garbage.
Right.
Now we don't know the truth. So now it's like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? And then the woman come in there and I just need a man to guide me. And the man be like, I want to, but I don't even know how to do it. Like, so it's like,
Can I
well,
add
yeah.
on to that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So at that last point you just made, I
Right,
need
right,
the
right.
guidance, right? So this will go back to Proverbs, right? So Proverbs
Okay.
1:5, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. We don't have wise counsels.
That's so true.
There we go.
It took
That's it.
God leading me to my, at this time, girlfriend to say, you got some issues. Try talking to my uncle, who's a life coach, because if you don't get these issues settled, I'm out. But like, it's okay. So now I know I got issues. So I sit down and talk with now my life coach, and it's like, wait a minute. This man is wise and has lived and has learned. And for the first time in my life, I could talk to a man.
Right.
Openly talk to a man. And now the next verse comes in. So shall attain unto wise counsel, to understand a proverb and its interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. Just that alone.
Wow.
It teaches me now to really understand that I can't do this by myself. I cannot be a great husband, a good husband, a decent husband if I don't have
Right.
men
Yes, sir.
to help me
Right.
be a better man,
Yes,
because
sir.
it takes a good man to
Yes,
be
sir.
a husband,
Yes, sir.
and it takes a good husband to lead in
sir.
your home. But if I don't even know how to be that,
Yes. And it's funny you said that, because that's
True.
why,
That's
you know,
true.
when we come as men, one thing I do know, and sisters, y'all can help us, and those who listen, you can put in the chats if you listen. I know this is where the sisters' frustration, because, you know, a lot of the women have, you know, they have found a way. I don't, you know, and I think that, and this is something we can talk about. The sisters has found the way, because the sisters have had issues happening in their life, but they found a way to just learn to go to the house of God, learn to pray, learn to just say, listen, I'm hurt. I've been out in the streets and the clubs. I've did all this stuff, but I'm going to run to God. But when it comes to us men, it's like, because our logical brain is so sharp, it's like, we know that's the answer, but we're trying. We're like, but if I go, that and because our logical brain and women has a strong emotional brain. They know, and it's like, that's why if you could look even with Christ, he takes 12 men, pours into them, dies on the cross. All them jokers leave. And the women are the one coming running at the tomb. They looking for him, and the men going back fishing. And it's like they know how to say, listen, I'm broken, let me go to God. When we're broken, we run away from him. And it's like, what is that thing that's making it so hard for us to just say, I can't do it. I'm going to God.
Our callings.
Mm-hmm.
We are called to lead.
Mm.
Women were created to be our helpmates.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be why it's a natural, thing
for them.
for them to get there, because now they're prepared to do exactly what they were designed to do.
Wow.
Help.
Exactly.
But we are supposed to be the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you start seeing men come into the house of
My
God,
Lord.
you see a changing
Yes.
of a guard.
Yes, sir.
Because as you see young people, teenagers, whatever, they're coming in, and we know that God can use those men to change so many lives.
That's true.
And this has, I mean, women have their role. They're going to do everything they're going to do. But with men, if we do exactly what the Bible tells us to do,
Yes, sir.
how unstoppable are we really?
And that leads me to and thank you for bringing that up because it's true. And it brings me to maybe the next question that I wanted to ask you guys and for the sisters, this is another thing that you can come into our world and walk with us, because sometimes we can look tough. Our society don't give us the space to show fear. Our society don't give us that space. So we have to fear and not show it to you for the sake of you not being afraid, because we're afraid, So we covered up. So I just want to give everyone a couple of analogies, and then I want us to discuss it.
Okay.
You have this guy named Noah in the Bible.
I heard of that guy.
Yeah. God speaks to him, not his wife and him, and tells this man to build an ark that's going to. How do you think he communicated that with his wife to lead them to follow him to build this big thing? She didn't hear what he heard, but she see the man out there building something and they never rained. So sis, I want you to see, can you imagine what was going on in that man's emotions? He heard something from the Lord. He's doing it. And then the woman that he's with is probably like, I didn't hear that. You ain't tell me to build nothing. And but watch this. But if he don't build it, him and his family go die.
Mm-hmm.
And it should still be mad at you.
And she'll be mad if you don't build.
How you let her drown, Noah?
Because the family died. But she may be mad if you do because I don't know what you're doing. And why he's nailing, he don't even know. He don't even know. He's out there for 120 years nailing on a word, and he gotta lead someone somewhere he don't even know.
That's hard.
That's why we gotta have faith in God, because that's how leaders look, women. We sometimes are just as nervous as you, and sometimes we need a lot of prayer. Because watch this. God tells him to use this certain type of wood. He tells him to do this. If that man would have missed one step in that process, his whole family would have drowned. And then, so he would have been accused if he did it right, if he missed one step but built it, and he would have been accused if he didn't do it. Let's do another scenario. Then I'm going to turn you guys loose. Look at Adam.
I knew this was coming.
I knew that was coming. God speaks to Adam. He didn't tell her. He says, Adam, and don't eat from this tree. His job, he instructed his helpmeet, right? Mm-hmm. She takes it and she eats it. When she brought it to Adam, the man want to make her happy, but what if he would have told her no?
Our lives would have been different.
We would have had a better life, but there could have been an argument in the garden. Why are you telling me no? I want this fruit. God said, don't eat this fruit. So in order to be obedient, sometimes it's a challenge because you want to try to cover your family, but the family sometimes don't hear what you hear as the head. This is the world of a man, and sometimes, a lot of women say, I want a godly man, but when they say that, they need to know that that man is going to walk by faith and sometimes be saying things, and women like, I ain't going with you. I don't know what that is. You God have to speak to me. And sometimes he don't talk to her. He'll talk to you because you're the head of that house. But it's scary because when he's talking to you, you're afraid of what he's telling you. And how do you think us men are supposed to navigate this? How should we approach our wives? How should we lead them if our faith is being challenged at the same time? What does that look like for us?
I will say effective communication goes a long way in marriages and in homes. Like, uncomfortable conversations are always going to happen in any type of a relationship. So you're going to have to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that saying this, I'm going to go ahead and just look at my wife while I say this, is going to come up again, where I'm going to have to talk about something that's very uncomfortable, but just admitting I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Because just because like God may not have told Sharice, but he told me, he can give her peace.
Yes.
Because he told me.
Right.
So when I tell her and I tell her I don't know, now I'm confessing my faults to a co-believers here.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, I have some latitude here, but I also have to follow up.
True.
And that's one of my
That's
biggest
true.
issues anyway. You have to follow up.
Yes.
You can receive the revelation, you can receive the instruction, you can receive all this stuff and then get grace that you need to do it. But then if you don't do it, what was it all for?
Wow.
And now you violate the trust in your home. And anytime you violate the trust in your home, you violate and compromise the trust of your relationship. And when you do that, now there's risk between your partner and you because you don't do what you're supposed to do and they lose confidence in you. So even when God may tell you to do something, now they're like, are you really going to do it though? I'm only speaking from experience because I have that problem. So again, I'm going to look at my wife. You already. I have that problem where I don't follow up with some of the things that I'm supposed to do, and even the small things, they start small and become bigger. So when God may give you the bigger job to do, now your partner may not look at you the same because you didn't follow up with the small things.
And you know that's good. And I want to give you guys a chance to chime in too, because I know you guys are single, so you can share from a different perspective. Because God could be speaking to you guys to do things now, you know, while you're alone. And like, how does that feel for you? Like, because again, God, this is a faith walk, and God does challenge men in the area of faith. So it's like, like, what do you feel God is kind of like doing with you when it comes to God speaking to you to do something? He's trusting you to stop doing something, and you like, I don't know what it looked like. But at the same time, he's like, listen, I want to make you a husband over one of my daughters, but if I can't trust you with this, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what does that look like in your world as he's speaking to you guys? Yeah, good question. I mean, if you don't, oh, go ahead.
I would say like thinking of like when you think of a leader, you think of fearless, but in a good way. I'm saying fearless, and they're very logical, and they don't look at the present time. They look in the future, and sometimes as a man, well, all the time as a man, you're gonna have to do and make decisions that everybody's not gonna agree with. Because it's out of protection of your family or whoever you're dealing with.
Yes.
And it's out of protection for you sometimes as a single brother. So like sometimes you're going to have to do things. But you can't, people are going to get upset. People are not going to agree. They're going to do that. But you have to be like, God, what are you saying? And this is the part where I know for myself, there's things that I have to do and still is doing where I just have to be like, okay, you know, how bad do I want my life to get better? Like, am I ready for change, or am I just gonna keep being scared? And sometimes you just have to do things like I just can't. Like not too long ago, I had to like just cut off this one dude I know. But every time I talked to him, and we weren't like best of friends, but like every time we talk, he always shooting down dreams and stuff. And I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work. The government, this girl, I don't want to hear that. I'm trying to be blessed. I don't want to hear that, because I used to be, and sometimes to catch myself, because I even picked up some of those mannerisms, because I was like, but birds of a feather flock together. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you think of these type of things and you like, I got to cut it out. So I say all that to say is that in leadership, you got to make sacrifices. It's going to be uncomfortable. Get used to being uncomfortable.
Yes, sir.
Because there's things that God's going to tell
100%.
you, and you know, oh boy, when I bring this back to my wife, she is not going, but you going to have to be like, honey, come here. She going to be over there just, what's going on, honey? You got to be like, put the cookies down. We need to talk. I got to tell you what God told me to do.
What kind of cookies?
But what I have learned, and ladies, please correct me if you are watching this, put in the comments if I'm wrong. Women are not going to understand things at first, but they respect you later. This is the part that men have to get into their head.
I'm going to comment on yours.
The decisions you make is going to be like, but in her head, she's like, that's a man. I'm telling, because she know. Why would she want somebody just as sensitive and emotional as you? Like you, who's gonna be the leader?
Yes,
can't be two heads.
Yes.
And the thing, it's like it has to only be one.
Yes.
And it's rooted in every single woman. Please comment if I'm wrong. It's in every single woman. They want a leader.
Yes.
And they're
I agree
tired
with
of
that.
men
I agree with
coming
that.
in, agreeing with everything the woman
I
says.
agree with that.
I think you should do this. I think you should do this. And the man be, okay, come on now. Like, no, you need to be like, look, I hear what you're saying, but I can't do that right now. This is what I gotta do. Well, I don't know. This she ain't the woman for you. And that's a whole nother chapter. I ain't gonna open that
my
door.
Lord.
But it's a simple fact that you have to do some things that you might not even like. I don't want to stop doing this. I don't want to, but you're going to be like, but God, you said, and God looks at that because he's like, I can trust you. That's building trust with the Lord. That's how I look at it.
That's good. Good.
Hold on,
good
Aaron,
saying.
before you go, real quick. I love what you said. I don't want to stop doing that. That was deep. That hit me.
Because
Sorry.
who wants to stop having fun? When you really think about who wants to stop having fun. And we just, so that's where I get all this from, because it's like, last thing I want to say for the brothers up here and all of us, married or not, how tired are you? Do you want change? This can be in the marriage. I'm tired of me and my wife fighting. Something got to break. I need to go to God. I'm tired of, if you single, I'm tired of just being with all these women and ain't married none of them. But now all types of stuff going on. You got babies, STDs. Let's keep it real here. You just all over the place because you won't sit down somewhere and God be like, if you sit down, I'll give you your wife. If you just sit down somewhere, and I'm being blunt because it need to be said. This is the type of stuff. And then we complain that the devil's getting us. But God be like, if you just listen, that's your wife, not her. Yeah. If you just chill out, that's your business, not this. But we just have a tendency as men to think we running the show all the time. And even though we men, he's the top dog. He's the one that's controlling all of this. And we have to learn how to do that.
That's good, man.
The key thing to this, to the women, and I learned, and when both of y'all married, is how you talk to the women.
Mm-hmm.
You could express yourself calmly, cause I'm a single and all that. But if the way you talk to them, you'll get through them.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm getting
like you want to create a safe place.
Yes.
they like
Yeah, you
know, you gotta lower your voice. They'll listen. They might not want to.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
but
She
That's
yelling
good.
at you. And you hit her, and you sit there, you just like,
You like,
baby, calm down.
I
got
got
base for a reason.
I got one more question for you because man, this is good. Now this last question, because this is good. We could talk on that, but this is the last question. I'm gonna try to comment to this. This is gonna be a good one. How important? Now again, nobody in the audience, y'all don't throw nothing at us. No, put it down. We got somebody who got a rock in their head already. All right,
she got her shoe
brothers,
off.
and be honest. Our Christian sisters. This is a Christian podcast.
Okay.
Our Christian sisters need to hear this. How important, and be real, is physical attraction to men
100%.
I love this
for
one.
a believer?
Yeah. For
a believer, because we're in a society today that and we're in this. I don't want us to go as talk about from anti-church. I want to talk about those who are in the kingdom. Like, now we're saved. Now we're walking with the Lord. Now we want to serve Him. We all had a past, but now we're saved. What is Christian men? At what percentage? At what priority is physical attraction for a Christian man in today's time? I don't want to hear nothing about her good heart.
Yeah.
I want to hear attraction, physical attraction. This is outside beauty. This is not we're believing she's a woman of God in her heart. Yeah. So that part we ain't worried about. I want to talk about the physical. Can we go past the physical and just see the heart as men? Be honest.
I'm just going on me.
Let's be honest. Be honest.
No.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not even looking at you.
No.
In my case, if I can't wake up and look at you face to face every morning, I'm good. I'm good.
So would y'all say that being saved don't turn that off as men?
No. Because I know we're not perfect, right?
I'm gonna say so.
If we're walking according to our disciples' teaching, it's more important. Because as a single person, you're supposed to save yourself. As a married person, you have you're authorized to do these things. I need to be attracted to you because
Hey.
yeah.
Get to the point.
So let's keep it even more real.
Okay.
Why is it so important for us? Why can't we as men? Because I know some women may not understand from a man perspective. Why is it hard for us though? Because there is some amazing, especially for the single guy, there's some amazing single women out there who love the Lord. They pray.
I feel the setup.
They go to church.
It's a setup.
It's a setup.
It's like, why can't they? Why are they struggling to, why men don't see that as, hey, I'm good with just that.
I'm letting him go. He said
you just good with it.
Yeah, I'm just good with her good heart. I can.
No, that's just too simple. No, that ain't it.
I'll say this.
Because you know what?
Oh, go ahead.
It goes
Ain't
both
it?
ways.
Yeah.
That's like if Nate said you big, all big, whatever, out of shape and all this kind of stuff. True.
It's true.
So your wife all fitted and stuff.
My Lord, look at that.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Lord Jesus.
She gonna come, Nate, come on, man. We got to go to the gym for a minute or something. We got to do something.
So,
it's
right.
occurred,
100%.
Yeah,
I agree.
You got to. We got to have. It's always got to be something. I could like her feet, or she could. It got to be something to attract.
Man, look, I ain't gonna
That's
lie.
just being real.
I'll be like, cover the toe up. I need to see the face.
Listen,
Yeah.
You
You
gotta
have
have
6 toes. I just need to look at your face.
Listen, when I go-
I have to look at that beautiful face.
Long, skinny.
I'm just teasing.
That's
No, I'm only kidding. That was a joke.
when I go to a car dealership.
Help us.
I don't care. I'm saying it. If you get hurt, you get hurt. This is what the truth is. When I go to a car dealership, I only look at cars that look good. I don't care what the mileage is if you don't look good.
Wow.
So I'm not about to do all that. You will look right. The seats will be leather black. That's just what I like. But I am not gonna be like, oh, that's all men care about is looks. Yeah, because you represent me. Absolutely. Because you're not about to be looking crazy. You represent me.
Wow.
We'll worry about your heart later. But right now, you need to look like this. Because let me tell you something. If you don't look good, I don't care about your heart. You can be the best person. But I'm not looking your way because I'm like, yo, what is this ape over here? I'm not looking that way.
But
Lord,
let me just throw this out there. Like
y'all pray for us on this stage.
even with
I just gotta
Sharice,
be
like I can't let myself go
Right.
and just expect everything to work. Because when you let yourself go, everything changes. And if you're looking to please your wife, but you can't even walk up a flight of stairs, like what is that? She don't want no blob on top of her, just cutting off her circulation of oxygen.
She
like
choking
no
and
woman
stuff,
wants
you know.
that. And
Y'all pray for
just
There we
as
go.
much as men look at women and want to be attractive, women want to be attracted to the men that they're with. So like, go do some more bicep curls and go work out. Like, go do these things that's gonna make her feel good that she's on your arm.
Right.
If your arm is smaller than her arm, what you want her? Get the bone off of me. Like, what do you want?
So okay, hold up, y'all
You
cracking me up
want
here.
to make yourself attractive so you can get what you actually like. You know what I mean?
And
So-
you want to stay attracted.
and you
want
to stay attractive.
So okay, oh y'all got me up here. Y'all,
But I'm not gonna lay and be with anything. I'm just.
And you don't expect women to either.
But
Exactly.
but let's keep it more for the men because again, we gonna give them women their own because they go let loose. The
They
women
gonna go
go let
off.
loose, so we gonna give them their time. This is our time. We talking about just men perspective.
Yep, just men.
Just for men.
Just for men.
men.
Why is it hard for us as men to overlook the looks?
Because looks mean something to us. We can keep it biblical, right? God said his creation was good and very good. So when he created Eve for Adam, he looked at her approvingly, not just because he knew that the creation was good and he had dominion over everything. This is flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. So you are a part of me. So even though we are far removed from Adam, my wife is a part of me. So like what Jerome said, we represent one another.
True.
So when you see Sharice out there, her name ain't Sharice Blake no more. It's Sharice Lyman. She's married to me.
But
so if she's stepping out there as a Lyman, we in our house have a standard. Just like I ask her to pull my clothes out. What looks good on me? What looks good when we're shopping? Because you gotta like what I'm wearing. You gotta like how I'm looking, and I need to like what I see when I see you, or I don't want to see you.
That's.
I just don't want to see you. I've had people that are like, you are annoying to see. You are literally annoying to see. You are annoying on contact because there's nothing about you that I want. So
wow,
for real.
That's awesome.
What attracted me to my wife when I first seen her, and I don't make it no secret, we met on Facebook dating. When I saw her, she caught my eye. That green dress caught my eye.
So she didn't have like, yes, I love Jesus on her profile. That
she barely had anything on her page.
Oh, Jesus.
I went to go stalk her page and see what was on there. She had like 4 pictures, but I knew I liked what I saw.
And I'm glad you said that because I want the women to hear, because sometimes they'll say, why this man is not looking at me? Maybe she's not your cup of tea. It doesn't mean she's not attractive, maybe just for you, but I do know for men, we have to see something. And now, would y'all say then attraction is how she presents what she has? Meaning, because, you have some who may be light, different skin tone. Is it how they present themselves, what they have, that makes them attractive? Or is it just a standard of attraction? Because I think in the church, sometimes women will say, well, I want to be beautiful, but her form of beauty is not what the man feels is beautiful.
And that's why she's not for that man.
Yes.
There is an individualized standard of beauty that we all have.
100%.
And if you don't meet my standard of beauty, just like if I don't meet yours, we're not compatible. We're wasting our time here. Because you can be with somebody, you can grow to love them, but you also grow to love your brothers and sisters in Christ.
Yes.
You're not going home and sleeping with them.
Yes.
You're not building a family with them.
Yes.
You're not buying a house with them. So like, I can love everybody in this congregation, but I only love her in that physical way. I only love her that way because I don't want to see anybody else any other type of way. I want my wife to be the apple of my eye. I want to be anywhere and be like,
yes.
I do like when she had those pants on like that. And
yes.
Well, I remember that one dress she had on the one day when she first got her hair done. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about. Yeah. Like that's what I want to think about continually because that's mine.
So
I remember you.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, I remember in the beginning when you had asked, you was like, because we all had a past and stuff like that. I say this, as a man, you still a man. While you serving Jesus, you still a man. So it goes to my point I might say, which is when I meet a woman, it should automatically be like, dang, she look good. All of this, well, ain't no well. Because I don't want that because that's not real. I want because when you were in your past, did you say well? You just went and ooh. Now when you get God, it's like you basically saying God can't bless you with something good.
Right.
So now you shorten yourself. Well, she has a nice heart. And and because if this is not somebody you would have picked back then, cut it out.
That's good.
Get somebody that you really want to be with. That is you like, man, they look good. Because guess what? When you get married, and besides just the spiritual side of it, when you get married, I got to wake up with you. I got to laugh with you. When you come downstairs and you sick, I got to still be like, look at my baby, looking good. You still got to do that. Tissue in her nose, she just, hey, babe. You still got to be like, yo, it's my wife. Like, but you can't, I don't want to ever be laying in bed. I'm not even trying to make y'all laugh. And she just, hey, you like, yeah, cool. That right there, I don't want to live like that.
Only time that happens when they got cold feet and just be putting cold feet on you.
Move. But that's just the thing. I just feel like that it's nothing wrong with that. God wants to bless us. He wants to bless us with the best. He don't want to give us anything. But we come into it with this mindset.
Yes, sir.
She's okay.
Yes, sir. No, I agree with that.
Just get what you really want.
But
be real.
Be preaching the message tonight.
If
you have faith in God, He will give you the things that you
Absolutely.
desire.
You gotta have faith.
So why won't you get that person that's going, like, if you're blessed to find a wife that you're so attracted to, that you love so much, and you can do all the stuff under the sun with, you're not gonna look nowhere else.
This is my
everything
point.
you got is right there.
Amen.
And
Amen.
it is all in that package. So I don't care what the next man got.
Amen.
I got what I really wanted.
That's good.
And
Exactly.
I got it because I believed that God was going to give me the right person.
Amen.
So we're going to do
Wow.
everything, no matter
Wow.
what.
And like you said, you know, she could have God, she could have a good heart, but it's not going to move me because I want to. And people say, well, you shouldn't do stuff for other people. Listen, they trying to sound all cool and smart and stuff. This is the truth. When I come in, yeah, that's my wife. I want to be proud. Oh, that's her right there.
Yes.
Oh, that's you? Yeah, that's me.
Yes.
And then you can even bring in God. See what happens when you wait on God?
Yes.
You get that.
Yes.
That's how you want to better
Yes.
talk. If I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, we going through some things, but you don't want to do that. That's not it.
If
Like,
you got to
no.
explain something before you show off your wife, it's not worth having.
Wow.
Yeah, she just not. Today is a rough day.
But again, you're re-preaching the message again because
Yeah.
if we don't trust God with those type of things,
Wow.
He's not going to bless us with the type of person that we're supposed to
My
have
Lord. Mm-hmm.
because we didn't believe He was going to do it. So we
right.
went and picked somebody. Thank you.
Wow.
No, thank you.
And I do want to add this real quick too. Us as men, this is something that I think that a lot of men need to start doing. It's okay to have standards. Because let me tell you, women is quick to tell you. They be like, "You ugly. you too short for me."
That
Dudes
beard
be
ain't
all-
working for you. I don't like your hair.
Right.
You bald.
And you ain't gotta go to that extreme, but it's just a simple point that like women, they gonna make sure that he look right. But
Right.
we have this tendency, we just take stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take it.
Yeah.
She ain't take you.
Yeah.
You ain't get picked. So
But
it's
how much
like,
of that
like-
is learned behavior?
Yeah.
Right.
Because the minute we step into a church, we are not taught these things. We are not. We don't discuss these things to
Yeah.
say, okay, yes, you are now a disciple. Let's talk about what's different and what's the same. Let's talk about the fact that your standards for a partner haven't changed. You're just not going for partners.
Yeah.
You're seeking your partner.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yes, you are still going to be looking for these things. Yes, you're going to build yourself up. Yes, you are here and we're going to teach you and work with you to build you up in this
Right.
in your ministry of being a man, your manhood ministry. We're going to build you up in this so that when you find that partner, she's going to be attracted to you. You're attracted to her. Now you're building what God wants you to have, as opposed to I'm just accepting because this is the only single person left in the church, and I just walked in the door and there's my Boaz. No,
Right.
no, no.
Wow.
And ask God to work on your confidence.
Yeah.
That's a big thing too.
I'll say that. I'll say that 'cause I know we are.
Yeah,
We could be
way over
going
here.
all night, guys. We go. The sisters are gonna. We're gonna let the sisters share next. I just want to leave with this. My prayer is that there was something heard. Again, we all love the Lord up here. I just pray that there was something that was heard. And I know some people have different views on things, but I mean, we're all looking to see Christ Jesus one day. But I believe where a lot of things are not being discussed is things like what we just talked about as far as attraction, to hearing from men, hearing sometimes what it's like to lead a family, hearing what it's like when God speaks to the head of the home and that head is still trying to work it out. We want to just provide that content for you guys just so you can kind of get into the eyes of men and pray for the men. If you got a good man, if you're dating somebody right now, if you're single and you're praying for God for a godly man or someone, well, we have some, a couple of, I'm just kidding. You can hit us up in the chat if you want to. No, but I didn't mean to throw that at you guys. But I will say this, that one of the things I will leave you guys with is that please pray for men in general, because the devil is after the men. He's after the men because the men, the devil knows our role. And when we step up to the plate, it is going to help so many women out because like I think somebody said earlier, the women, they're looking for leaders. They're looking for men to stop being, women don't want to get in the marriage or get in a relationship and they're doing all the leading. That's just, they don't really want to do that. And so I think now God is trying to raise up men to find that place of headship. And we've been trying to talk about that here. But we just wanted to provide you content so you can hear a little bit of our heart tonight. So I want to thank you guys for being vulnerable, being open, being honest. As you can see that men of faith do sometimes go through moments where they have to trust God. Men of faith do look at attraction. men of faith, we're vulnerable people as well that need prayer. So we just pray that this was a blessing to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we pray that you can go back and listen to some of the other podcasts on our channel. Thank you so much again for tuning in with us. And we'll see you on the next podcast in Jesus' name. God bless you guys.